You know, it came in the mail, and I actually sat it on the desk and I left it there for a few days, and then I opened it up and it was my census form. What did I do? I simply opened it up. I went to the website as it directed me to. I filled out the census, and it was from beginning to end less than 5 minutes. And you should do the same thing. You're seeing the ads airing here on Star News TV about filling out your census. Team Reidsville is encouraging everyone to do that. We're going to talk more about that now and why it's so important. On the phone with me to talk about this, we've got Reidsville Mayor Dr. J. Donecker and Reidsville City Councilman Donald Gorham, and they're here to talk about how important it is to make sure you fill out that information so we know how many people we have in our area and why it's so important. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today. It's a privilege to have both of you here.
Mark, thank you for having us. It's twice in the same week.
Twice?
I just can't get enough of you. I just want to start by opening up and saying that this census comes every 10 years, and it is so important to make sure that we get our fair share of the different grants and funding that come from the state and the federal government. And it's up to you and me to fill out the census so that we get accurately counted. So tonight, Councilman Gorham and myself are going to discuss why it's so important to fill it out and how our community actually benefits from it. Councilman Gorham, if you could start off.
Okay, Jay, and thanks again, Mark, for allowing us the opportunity to come on Star News and pass on this very important information.
Absolutely.
The city has been involved in getting our community prepared and updated on the census since 2018. Reidsville led the effort for the entire county to get information out to our citizens about the importance of the census. Advertising was placed in print. A billboard on Freeway Drive was procured for the duration of the census. We set up a website specifically for the census. Plans to have computers open in various locations throughout the city was thwarted by COVID-19. But we have continued to reach out to our residents to increase the participation rate for Reidsville. And once restrictions are lifted, we will have them set up again as well as we can. Mayor?
Yes, thanks, Donald. This census is really important for Team Reidsville. As I mentioned earlier, once every 10 years, we come together to count every resident in the United States. And it creates a national awareness of the importance of the census and its valuable statistics. Federal funds, grants, and support to the states, counties, and communities are based on population totals and breakdowns by sex, age, race, and other factors. Our community benefits the most when the census counts everyone. People in our community use this census data for all kinds of ways, and a number of ways is that $675 billion is distributed annually to local and state governments. These disbursements are based on the populations of an area. The higher our population is, the higher the amount we receive. This census is the largest and most reliable picture of our communities, and it's vital for planning for future services like schools, streets, and utilities, hospitals and clinics, shopping centers, and more. Census data brings your tax dollars back to our community. More than $1,623 per person in federal aid and $205 in state aid are distributed annually based on the census count. Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, Head Start, foster care, National School Lunch Program grants, and highway planning and construction, including the PAL bill, rely on this census information. Councilman Gorham,
Okay.
you could talk about the census locally, the impact locally, yes.
The census is mandated by the U.S. Constitution. Companies looking to locate and expand use census data to determine where they will go. I've had a lot of people ask me about a Chick-fil-A in Reidsville. If we get those census forms filled out, there's a possibility we might be able to get that Chick-fil-A here in Reidsville. The census also provides the basis for reapportioning congressional seats and redistricting. Local government officials use the census to ensure public safety and plans for new schools and hospitals. Real estate developers and city planners use the census to plan new homes and improve neighborhoods. The influences of the census help with highway planning and construction. It also helps determine how much money is allocated for the Head Start program and for grants that support teachers and special education. The census helps us with programs to support rural areas, and Reidsville is considered rural. It also provides programs to restore wildlife, programs to prevent child abuse, to provide housing assistance for older adults, that would be me, including Reidsville seniors, including the Reidsville senior population. Rural housing preservation grants, state grants for protection and advocacy services, special programs for aging and for prevention of elder abuse, neglect, and exploitation, medical assistance programs, national school lunch programs, Section 8 housing choice vouchers, improving teacher quality, state grants, crime victim assistance. And Mayor, I believe I was supposed to be sharing that for you with you, so I'll let you take over.
That's quite all right. Adult education. I mean, there is a lot of programs that Councilman Gorham has listed. Also, our senior community service employment program, assistance to firefighters grant, emergency food assistance program, disabled veterans outreach programs. This is just a few, and you could see here how many of them are all funded through the results based on the census, which occurs every 10 years. If we could now hit upon what our response rates are. Nationally, the response rate is expected to be just shy of 60%. The state response rate is under that, usually about 56%. Our response rate so far is about 57%. A little bit more than the state, but really not at the national average. Last time that we did this 10 years ago, the response rate was 65%. Our goal as Team Reidsville is trying to achieve a higher percentage. Of course, 100% would be unbelievable and fantastic. But more realistically, we're shooting to get a percentage of filling out the census at 80 to 85%.
That 80 to 85% might bring that Chick-fil-A to Reidsville. Broken down in tracks. We can see what areas are responding to the census over the areas. Right now, Track 412 has a lower response rate over the other areas of the city. Track 412 does not include some areas outside the city limits, but inside the city is the northern section, like Lawsonville Avenue, Market Street, and Main Street areas. 413 also includes areas of Pickrell and Cambridge. 414 is east of Scale Street and includes Bourne Street and Drum Road, along with Freeway Drive. Now that's District A. So I'm just asking all of my District A supporters to go ahead and fill out that census. I'd like to have some Chick-fil-A myself.
We all do. That is exactly right.
There we go.
So the question is, how do you respond to the 2020 census? On April 1st, all households should have received an invitation to participate. So you have three ways to respond. First, you can go online. And this is the first time that this type of census has ever been done online. You can also fill out the census by phone or by good old snail mail. It's 12 questions, and your personal information is kept confidential. The Census Bureau is bound by federal law to protect your information, and your data is only used for statistical purposes.
These are things that the census will not ask you for. They will not ask you for your Social Security number, money or donations that you might make, anything on the behalf of a political party, your bank account or credit card accounts. Your information cannot be shared on any level, including ICE. If someone claiming to be from the Census Bureau asks you for one of these items, you may be the target or victim of a scam. Mayor?
And they are out there. If anybody ever requests this information from you, please contact our police department, because nobody needs to have this information taken from you, because that can only lead to other problems for you in the future. In regards to census workers in our neighborhood, you'll probably see some census takers in your neighborhood for a few different reasons. One, they're going to verify addresses in preparation for the census. Secondly, they're collecting responses to the census or to another survey. Or they're dropping off census materials. Another possibility is they could be conducting quality checks on the census. While visiting of the homes has been delayed by the census takers, they will begin visiting homes sometime in 2020 to collect responses from those who did not respond online, by phone, or by mail. At the same time, there will be other surveys going on, such as American Community Survey. So there will also be census field representatives visiting homes for other reasons as well. Please visit ReidsvilleCensus2020.rocks for more information, and be sure to fill it out. It is so important to our local economy.
You know, if I didn't know any better, and I'm not an expert, but if I didn't know any better, I would think that possibly Councilman Donald Gorham may want a Chick-fil-A in Reidsville.
You heard me say anything like that, did you, boy?
I got to tell you, I think there's a lot of people that would love to see that, or a cookout. And of course, the importance is when we bring all of these numbers together and do this. And as I mentioned to you, when I got my form in the mail, I just set it aside for a few days, not because I didn't want to fill it out, but simply because I had other things going on. But when I had some quiet time, I actually went online and filled out that information that was included with the mailer from the Census Bureau, so I knew that I was on the correct website. And I filled out that information. In less than about 5 minutes, I was done, and it was over and done with. And I think that both of you gentlemen did an excellent job of talking about just how important this is to our communities, because this helps us out in the long run, especially when it comes to funding and helping our communities and getting help from the federal government and the state government. And I really encourage everyone to take a few minutes and just fill it out. And it's important that we're all counted. I think that's important, and it includes representation too. So fill it out and get those in, whether you do it by snail mail or phone or online. However you do it, just do it, and you'll be surprised at just how quickly it goes.
Mark, who wouldn't want to improve education? Who wouldn't want to enhance health care? Who wouldn't want to take care of the infrastructure that we have? And is there anyone out there who wouldn't like to have a large industry to come into Reidsville? They take a look at that, as I said earlier.
Right.
And is there anyone out there who wouldn't like to have that Chick-fil-A?
And you and I know, and the mayor knows as well, that you spent your entire most of your adult life in education as an educator yourself. So you know how important it is to keep our schools financed, to keep that. We have to get help from the federal government, from the state government, even from our county boards. But I know that this affects so many. It's more than just counting heads. It's so important in so many different ways.
It is. It is.
And so, by the way,
again, I just have to thank you for giving us an opportunity to be on program today.
Councilman, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and to see you and to have you on with us. We need to get you on more, and we hope we can do that. Once we get past all of this COVID-19, maybe we can start doing more things, and we're always glad to have you on the air with us. It's always fun and always a pleasure. And so, Councilman Donald Gorham, thank you again for being here with us today.
Thank you, Bob.
Reidsville Mayor Dr. Jay Donecker is also with us. He's been talking about the importance of filling out the census, the 2020 census. And again, Mayor, the website that people can go to if they'd like to find out more. Tell us that website one more time, if you will.
Sure. It is Reidsville Census 2020.rocks.
I think you may be thinking about that Chick-fil-A too. There,
I was.
It is. Yeah, I think so. Caught him off guard there a little bit. Reidsville Census 2020.rocks. You can also see the ads that's airing here on Star News TV that will remind you to fill out the census. So when you see that, if you haven't done it, please fill it out. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Again, it's always a pleasure to talk to both of you, and good luck and stay safe.
All right. You do the same, Mark.
Thank you very much.
All right, and
Yes,
again, Reidsville Census 2020.rocks. That's the website. Go fill it out. We will be back. We've got lots more coming up for you right here on Star News TV, and we'll do it right after these messages.